Hello everybody, hope you are doing well. Not feeling too good at all today. I don't know if it's a sickness bug or whatever else, but I thought I'd try and get some fresh air and get a little bit more done anyway. Done a little bit off camera, just wanted to sort of just crack on with it really. It's a little bit under the bonnet, managed to get the throttle cable and choke cable all connected. Battery in, stuff like that, and I've also made a start on that chassis leg, which I will show you in a moment. Only thing I will say regarding that, if you're going to do any welding, cut the old rusty metal away, don't weld on top of it. It just makes matters worse in the long run and it doesn't solve an issue. So yeah, if it's a home project you've got, cut old metal away, you don't leave any of it there. Unfortunately on this leg, all they've done is just weld on top of all the old rusty metal, and it's just a mess and it's just a waste of time. So just take that into account. If you can do any welding, cut away the old stuff. But what I do, I will turn this phone around and I'll show you what I've done under bonnet. Okay, so little bits under here, put a nice new cable in. I want to get some new ends for these cables to make it look a bit better, but anyway, new cable, new battery clamp, new earth cable, battery clamp. Cleaned all the earths up around here, just so they get better connection, and down there just clean them up. Down here you can see, so all the throttle cable and all that is connected. Just got to fit a new screen wash hose down to the bottle down there, and yeah, that's all under there done. Looking forward to getting it running. It's been a long time. Rightio, and then if we go down here, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll zoom out for this bit and I'll show you the chassis leg. Okay, that's the metal I've cut out, and as you can see, it's just metal on top of metal. It is rotten. If you ever do anything like this, like I say, cut away the old metal. It's just saves a lot more work in the long run. So there's like the main sort of structure support for your eye bolt bushes, so I need to weld a plate in there first and then I'll have to weld on top of that. That's sort of natural for the strength, so there's not a lot you can do about that. And I've cut around there. I've had to cut sort of around the bolts there, that's sort of structural, that little bit. The reason for it is because the bolt over there is just spinning, not coming out, and last thing I'm going to do is start taking all the gearbox down and making more work. So I can drop that bracket and I'm just going to weld around it. It's just the easiest way to do it. But I'm going to clean up all these edges with a flattening disc and then start cutting some materials to put in there. If I do that today or not, it might be another day with the way I'm feeling, but it's definitely progress. But like I say, yeah, don't weld on top of old rusty metal. Hello, I'm back. So the previous video where you saw me cut all this out, I had to have a day off, so a couple of days back now, and we're at it again. Still not feeling 100%, mind you. Still really tight chest and everything else, so God knows what I've got. But we need to get this done. So yeah, we're having a crack on. So use my clamp. I've just clamped that bit of plate in. So this is sort of the strengthening part for the eye bolt bush. I don't know if you'll see it in there, but obviously you can see there's a plate there and there's one on the other side, just like it's like a strengthening box. So we're going to put that in, and I've left a gap underneath. When I've done this, sorry, I will be priming it, and then I'm going to put the other bit on top. There's no way around it, unfortunately. It is what it is on that section. I've cut the bolts out. Where are we? Yep, here. So I've cut the bolts out because I didn't realise you can actually gain access when you take the gearbox cover off on the inside. So I can get all this welded up, put that up against it, drill a couple of holes in, I can bolt it from the inside. So so that was handy. Yeah, I didn't realise that, my bad. Got to put a bit of a plate once this bit's welded on. I've got a plate from the other side, and I've got to do a repair here. This was just full of silicone. Yeah, as I said beginning of the video, cut the rust out, people. Let's do it right. So anyway, that's where we're at. I am going to try and position this phone. It's going to be a bit difficult being under the car, and yeah, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so on this video here, I had trouble welding this plate in. Reason being, there was so much underseal between the two pieces of metal on the side that when you're welding, the heat was making it run down and causing issues with the weld. So not massively happy with it, but it's about as best as I could get it. It is solid. So unfortunately it's just going to have to do, but we'd have to new plate over the top anyway, so it should look pretty good. Hello, back again. Getting there. I'll start off from over here. So I've got all that in. Obviously I've got to put a plate there. Coming down here, I had to put a cut in here just to re-angle this piece, and I'm probably going to have to cut it about here, and just to re-angle, get this sort of sitting better. But it's coming along quite nicely in here, and it's going to be nice and solid, which will be nice. So yeah, I've just got that bit there to do. Unfortunately, when you start welding, you find all these other little holes. Not much you can do about it really. Stick a little plate over it or try and weld it up. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, managed to get it, most of it seam sealed, so it's sort of well, I say seam sealed, but it's level, if you know what I mean, with the old metal, apart from obviously this bit here. Obviously there was a big plate on the other side. So what I'll do when it comes to it, I'll clean it all up, I'll grind this back a little bit, level it off just to make it look a bit better. And I will obviously grind back over the welds as well. Most of these are quite nice. But I'm going to go and have something to eat. I mean, this weather is a joke. Look at it. It really is. If I can get up. Oh, it's just absolutely horrendous. I'm getting soaking wet. But we're in. We're committed now. So, yeah, we just need to finish that end. And then I can start grinding and tidying up a few bits under there, which would be very nice indeed. But, yeah, I'll go have something to eat. And I shall be back shortly. Okay, back again. Right. It's all on. Alright, I've still got that side and there's a little bit on the other side to do. But, all in all, looking pretty good. Obviously I do need to seam seal it. I've just stuck some primer on it. But, I'm happy with that. Ground it back as well. So yeah, bit of seam seal on it and that should look pretty good. Don't know how well, if I can get under here. So yeah, I've got to do that hole there. But yeah, it's another job done. Obviously it's still raining and horrible, I'm soaked, so I'm going to call it a day, and then tomorrow I'm going to come out and finish that hole there and then the other side, and I'll seam seal it all up. But at least that's got rid of all the rot. And then what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to jack it up in a minute, just let that primer dry, jack it up, line up the holes from the inside, and then once I know they're in position, because there's a bolt up there and up there, then I'll drill up through these holes because I can access it from inside, and then put new bolts on and everything, and that'll all be hunky-dory. But yeah, I'm happy with how that's turned out. Like I say, solid as well. What do you think? You guys let me know. Could do with a bit more flattening here, to be honest, but I just me being picky really when I'm going to seam seal it. So yeah, another job done. So yeah, on to the next. Right, if I can get out of here now. Is this? Happy days. Right, I'm going to leave it here, and I will catch up with you on the next one. But appreciate all the support. Take it easy. See you later.